Okay.
There we go.
I don't think we have.
Okay,
I don't
now
think we
we're-
have
now they
actual
can actually
audience
hear-
at the moment
they
yet.
can hear
But
us now.
ladies and gentlemen, oh, they can hear us now.
Yeah.
Now they can actually hear us.
Yes,
Are
I
you
said
sure? Are you absolutely positive this
The
time?
little bars are lighting up. It's happening.
Got it. You're sure?
Fucking hotkeys. Yes. I will send screen caps.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of Locked and Loaded, technical difficulties included.
Fuck, I gotta change the title to that.
Do it. Do it. That's the name now. Yeah, well, hopefully we've got ourselves a really entertaining night for you tonight. I'm plastered-ish.
Oh, are you? I'm about.
Not quite plastered, but I'm there.
I've had a day.
Yeah, I went a little overboard last Monday, and I haven't had a beer since then. So.
What the fuck?
Oh, it was bad. And I still had to go into work.
I'm surprised.
I'm drinking really cheap scotch.
If I can fucking open this shit, I'm gonna be drinking my typical beer.
Your typical beer?
I've got a what is this? A Hot Valley Cryostash Imperial IPA, and my stomach is like, please no, please don't.
I have Irish death.
Yeah, if you guys ever have the chance to buy scotch, don't buy the kind that I bought. Well, buy the kind that I usually buy when I buy scotch, which is Glenlivet, 12 years. Don't buy the whatever the fuck it is that I bought this time, because it was cheaper. And I was trying to see if there was another scotch out there that I might enjoy. Because the expensive shit is expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll finish this. I might. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm just drinking Irish death, and I'm going to probably drink it rather quickly so I can.
Forget about your weekend.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. We know that.
Not give a shit about your weekend, at least for a little while.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
All right. So are you both in the MyCircle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be.
So it should be. Okay. All right. We'll get to that in a second. Let's do our intro.
All right.
Didn't
Did
we just do
it? Sorry, I've been opening a beer this entire time.
Well, since Pav wasn't here for it, I guess we can do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of Locked and Loaded, episode 43.
43.
Technical difficulties included.
It's a package deal.
Hopefully, we've got a nice lineup for you all. Starting off with an interesting little YouTube video that it's gonna tickle my fancy at least.
Oh, it's hilarious, but we might have to explain a few things about it as it goes on. But just it's something interesting that has been happening over the past I don't know, say month, and I just found out about it because of one of the YouTubers I watched finally decided to talk about it. I'm like, oh shit, oh my god, I need to see this, and it led to an entire day of laughter. So
On the fly formatting, I love it.
Isn't it great?
Yeah. It's beautiful. There we go. That fits the window.
So apparently, Jables is saying that you guys can use his professional studio for free.
Yeah, Jables, we're definitely gonna have to talk about that soon.
And I kind of want to just strangle Jables because he's trying to muscle me out of the show.
Hey, wouldn't we be then muscling Rimshi out of his show?
Who cares about Rimshi?
Who cares about Jables?
No, we care about me though.
Yeah,
We do.
but love you, James.
So.
All right. So
I don't know what the hell we'd use that studio for.
for when we
Locked
do,
and loaded.
Yeah, between all of us.
Except, I
don't
wouldn't
wanna,
be there because I'm on the other side of the fucking country.
I don't
Well,
want to
okay,
drive
so-
to
oh,
Seattle.
There's a crossover in the works.
Yeah,
I have.
this is for the crossover.
I was not tracking this.
Are you orchestrating
Okay,
deals?
So yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I mentioned Rimshi is because it would be all 5. Yeah, 5 of us. So 3 of us would be in
okay.
the studio, and then you 2 would have to be calling in, basically.
See,
Oh, that's different.
I was under the alarmist impression jokingly that Jables was trying to take over my position in Locked and Loaded, period.
No,
And just kick me out so you guys could do Locked and Loaded and the Pre-Saints show from that
He
studio.
wants to do both. I don't think he
Nah.
wants to do both.
Nah.
Okay.
Now you're too
Well.
sarcastic to be replaced.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just look at our what was that? 3 months of just me and Buck.
Yeah.
We needed you back. All right, so I guess I'm gonna just pull us
probably
into
the
the
case,
story
Jable.
since you guys can.
I feel so heartbroken right now. You guys healed the wound in my heart, and now I feel it.
Max,
Just-
I'm
just putting
feeling.
this out
What is
there.
this?
I'm just putting this out there, Jables. Me and Buck understood completely what you were talking about. It just seems that
If this was talked
been a
talked about
while.
last week, yes, I was incredibly drunk.
Only 2 of
okay.
us.
Was it last
Ah.
week or the week before?
Oh, last week I was
It
really
was
drunk.
last
The week before, yeah. The week before I was incredibly drunk. If that's when that happened.
It wasn't last week.
Okay, so just to reaffirm, all 3 of us are down for a crossover stream. Correct.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
Yeah.
Is
All right.
Rimshi down?
I think Rimshi was there for that conversation in the first place, so we don't have to reconfirm with him.
I think
Oh,
we
I don't
should
know.
reconfirm with him.
I don't know what's going on most of the time. I don't even make the fucking Saints mod meetings.
So
just don't.
is this going to be is this going to be a Wednesday thing, a Friday thing, or a Saturday thing?
Wow. Okay. So
Wow,
it's
how
going
could
to
this be on Wednesday? I was talking. I mean, like,
no. This is going to be one of the days that we do our stream. They're going to be on our stream. Also, one of the days that they do their stream, we're going to be on their stream.
I see.
Yes.
Perfect. See, Pav, you are the perfect person to be the manager.
Because I don't
Wait.
get drunk, apparently.
Wait. You left that role a long time ago.
No, you upgraded me or downgraded me from that role.
Pretty sure it was a promotion.
It's
An unpaid promotion, but a promotion nonetheless.
besides you decide the format. Okay, James.
Wait,
Uh,
why does Japles decide the format?
Because I think
It's
No,
his friend's
no.
studio, or it was
Uh,
his idea.
he's going to have to explain that better. I can't explain that.
I could use that explanation, but not here, not now. Let's
Alright,
get into
alright,
let's get into the actual show.
So back at the end of September, in the middle of September, The Verge, which is one of those journalistic companies that it's kind of like Vox and all that, but they're more centered around tech. Made a how we built a $2,000 gaming PC video, and it was god awful. And a bunch of people made responses to it and kind of explaining why it was bad. And one of the best ones was a guy by the name of well, his name is Kyle, but he decided to use his alternate persona, Lyle. So just a point of reference for people who don't know the PC building community. His voice is not his normal, typical voice. This is a character he puts on. So
Why is everything a
I-
community these days?
Okay,
Because
okay, it's shorthand. It's shorthand. This is just me. This is just how I'm presenting it. So this is kind of just an introduction to the article that we're going to read, but I also find the video fucking hilarious. And I wanted to show it to these two. So now I'm going to show it to all of you. So let's see if it actually starts where it should. So if I click play.
So a few years ago, TC, our managing editor,
It's running just fine on my end. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, let's start. Let's start it. At the
someone has to actually agree to be the person to press play or pause. Because all of us can do that.
I'm gonna let Pomp do that.
Because
All right.
I'm the one that set up the MyCircle link.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we've used MyCircle that
Right.
I forget how it works.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna click play, and this is just to this is a solid introduction to the
So
video.
a few years ago, TC, our managing editor, built a gaming desktop, but it's kind of out of date, and it's definitely not going to hold up for Battlefield 5. So let's build a new one.
Battlefield 5, Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
how they get the Steve Urkel to build the computer? Chinese secret.
Speed up your rig with the Toshiba OCZ T4 Layer 3D Nanfo.
That was an ad.
Okay, I know I'm not the best PC builder, you know, but Kyle teach me many things, and I come a wrong way. So today, I take a look at this video from The Verge, how we built $2,000 gaming PC, and I watch video and give my 2 cents, right, Jay? So here we go.
Gotta remember to
See what
pause,
I have
buddy.
in store.
Yep.
You can build
I love his voice. I can't place what accent he's trying to mimic.
It's Chinese.
It's Chinese.
But he doesn't look the part. That's the best thing.
I think
Yeah.
he actually is Chinese, to be completely frank.
Is he?
I think
looks Mexican.
He probably is Mexican now that you mention it, but I don't know.
Aye.
I don't remember the conception of this character.
I did take a
It's
minute
been
to
a
sub
long
to him.
ass time. Oh yeah, no, he's the he was called. He changed his channel name recently. I don't remember it being Britwit, but yeah, he's one of the OG PC builders on YouTube, like back with like Paul's Hardware, Jace 2 Cents, and Linus. And he just decided to make a comedy version, like reoccurring character, much like Francis from Boogie 2988. And so he decided to not take this video at all seriously and run with this character for this. So I'm gonna click play and
Get rid of those friggin' more videos. Need that shit up here.
alright.
build a gaming desktop for around $1,000, but I want to go all out, so I spent around $2,000. A PC like this is going to be able to play.
He spent the 2,000. No, he spent the 2,000 on the Verge credit card. He don't have 2,000. Not even Louis Vuitton.
What do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table. Preferably
Oh,
not.
you need a table to build a PC. I thought you could build it in mid-air. Go build in the sky, maybe, on the crowd.
If it's going to be metal, have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it, a thermal paste applicator, an Allen wrench, some tweezers to tighten up the wires, a Swiss.
Wait, did he just call them tweezers? Did he
Did,
just call
did
them
he
tweezers?
just call zip ties tweezers?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Did he literally just call zip ties tweezers?
Remember, guys, this is a
Because
this is
he
The
was
Verge.
he was putting those tools out, and I'm like, what? What?
Okay.
Allen key.
Is that an Allen wrench
What
or
was
a
the,
torch?
what was the little
No, that's an
plastic
Allen.
thing again?
A thermal
But
paste
that's-
applicator.
It's yeah, which is useless, but that's a
What?
It
What
comes
the
in a fucking tube.
you put a bead that's about the size of a
Rice.
dime. Grain of rice?
Grain of rice. Like
Yeah,
you don't
let's
want it
change it.
spilling out. And
Well,
dime
no,
might
you
be
put-
a lot.
You okay, so not necessarily the size of a dime, maybe a little bit smaller than a dime. I would definitely put more than a grain of rice, though.
Oh, yeah, probably. It's a meme. I've actually had to explain this to Topaz. She's not in the PC building. It's kind of become a meme on how to apply thermal paste at this point. But I swear to God, no matter how many arguments, no matter how polarizing the arguments are on the internet, I can tell you right now, this guy from The Verge has everybody stopping their arguments and turning and agreeing to say, no, that's not how you do it.
It's not.
No, we haven't got there yet.
And what's with the fucking Allen key? What the hell is he going to use an Allen key on?
I have no idea. Nothing.
There's not a single fucking screw in a fucking computer that uses an Allen key.
Well, there are some, but it's specialty parts.
All I've ever needed,
like I have.
All I've needed is a really small Phillips screwdriver, just
pretty
one
much
thing with a really small head. Easy.
Yep.
Fucking Allen wrench. What is he doing? Adjusting a fucking guitar?
That's literally the only actual tool you need is a fucking Phillips head. Even the fucking fan screws only use Phillips head.
Jesus
That's a
fucking
zip
Christ.
tie. How in God's name is my English better than his? For the eyebrow with the pinky. What the?
A Swiss Army knife.
Did you catch that?
No.
Hold on. Let me go back and
I was laughing too hard.
this part is gold.
What the?
A Swiss Army knife, which hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
Are you fucking
what?
seriously?
Hopefully.
Hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in there. A fucking Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
Hopefully having.
Okay. We have a sequel to this video. How to build a $2,000 custom gaming PC without a Phillips head screwdriver.
But
Jesus Christ.
Okay, his response to this is gold. I want you guys to hear it.
That hopefully. Hope it has screwdriver. What's he saying? All you need to build a PC is an Allen wrench and a hope. No, that's a stupid.
Hope.
That was stupid.
To hope.
That was my response. That was exactly my response.
Fucking.
This is just ridiculous. But no, like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think I would find a just basic-ass screwdriver to be more common in homes than a Swiss Army knife with a freaking Phillips head on it. I feel like that's the case, but
Idea. Get a real screwdriver. You should ditch Aaron and get with Farrah.
And last but not least, an anti-static bracelet, which is to protect you and the parts. These are the parts you're gonna need, but more
Alright,
Whoa!
whoa!
Oh my god.
When he started saying anti-static bracelet, I was like, you know what? That's actually something I could get behind. But then he put a fucking jelly bracelet on his.
no, it's worse. It's worse. Hold on.
Doesn't even connect it to the ground. How the? What? It's not a wireless wristband. That's a Rivstrong bracelet. He not fighting static. He fighting cancer.
He's also causing cancer.
Okay. What?
Jesus.
What motherfucker
He hasn't
taught
even
this
started
guy
building.
how to build this computer and taught him all of this shit and told him what all of these things were just to fuck with him?
Yeah, no, that's what it kind of sounds like.
I bet he's just a fucking intern.
Everything that he has said so far has sounded like someone taught him how to build a computer and was fucking with him the entire fucking time.
Yeah, whoever wrote this script was an idiot. Like,
This.
Some notes about installing motherboards, they're really delicate, you should be really careful with them. And screw in with confidence, but also don't screw in too hard, otherwise you
Screw in with confidence. I like his style.
pay close attention to the brace that goes at the back of the computer. You always have to make sure that
The brace. That's not a brace. Brace.
That's
with
an
no
in-out
arm,
shield.
no teeth. That's an IO shield. His English
That's-
so bad. So bad English.
it's pretty fast RAM.
It's a fucking in-out shield, and those things are a pain in the dick.
Oh no, the newer ones are actually a lot easier to install.
Dude, I just had a new
Actually-
one. I just installed a
actually,
new
no,
one not
I'm
long
sorry.
ago, and
I'm
it was
sorry.
just as much big of a pain in the dick as the one I
newer-
installed 6 years ago.
New motherboards actually come with it pre-installed on the motherboard, so you don't even
mine-
have to
mine
put it in
didn't.
the case.
I feel
did.
kind of gypped right now.
Get with
MSI. Damn
Okay,
you!
hold up. He's building this in 2015. Not 2018. I built my
2018.
rig in 2013, and it came with an IO shield. My board came with an IO shield.
Already
On it?
built in. On
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
Mine didn't.
Just I think it's just the manufacturer.
What the fuck kind of a
Okay.
board did he get?
So
Well, apparently
here's
got
the thing.
MSI.
Here's the thing. So a lot of them come with the in-out block, like solid, rather than just being individual components.
Right.
And people mistake that for an in-out shield, and it kind of is. But the cases, they come with extra ones that actually it's snapped to the case, and that's more to seal out dust.
Right.
So-
We're getting a little bit too technical. I think that what I'm trying to stick with here is just the hilarity of the stupidity of this motherfucker.
He called it a
right here.
fucking brace.
Yeah.
He called it a
No.
brace.
Now listen to his excitement over this brand.
It's 2,666 megahertz, I believe.
That's
so
not
it's
that
pretty
fast. I can run at 3200 megahertz.
So once you hear that solid
What?
clap and you don't see the gold connectors on
Okay, so 2666 paired with a new i7. For those of you who don't know, it's not really probably the best idea. It's older RAM paired with a brand new i7.
Is it
Oh my
DD3 or DD4?
It's 4. It's 4.
Hey, what? I gotta check something really quick.
Okay.
I gotta check
I'll
my-
keep playing this.
I gotta check my
anymore.
what my
That's when you know the RAM is in. Step
The main thing is something that I was about to point out that I want. It's
3. We're going to install.
Hold on. He installed the memory incorrect. They side by side. They should be spaced out for that motherboard.
They're in the wrong
That's
channel.
the wrong way.
they're in the wrong channel. The way you're supposed to install 2 sticks is one spaced apart in all. It's standard for all motherboards. And
you're
he
supposed to
installs-
use one channel until it's full, and then you can't use the second channel until it's full either. It's just the way it's designed.
Yeah, and this is just bad.
He's got 2 partial channels of Jesus fucking Christ.
The fucking the fucking motherboard's going to look at that shit and be like, what? And say no.
The
It's
bandwidth's gonna be
literally
cut.
going to tell him no.
See, I didn't even know you're not supposed to. I mean, I can see you're not supposed to do that, but I didn't know why you weren't supposed to do that. But I just looked at my
Alright,
board
so-
and went, these have the same symbol.
Yeah.
There we go.
So how motherboards are set up is you have what is called dual channel and single channel. Dual channel has a wider bandwidth, which allows for better speeds, faster pulling information off of a hard drive and then sending them to the processor. Single channel is when you just have one stick in a channel, which is but typically for me, what I found is you have 2 slots that are gray and 2 slots that are black. The gray slots connect together because they're color coded, and the black slots obviously color coded. So if you're setting it up to where 2 of them, one of them's in a gray and one of them's in a black, these 2 sticks are not going to connect. They're just going to be separate RAM slots.
And the motherboard's going to look at that and be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? That's literally what it's going to do. See, my motherboard didn't come with that. And I spent a long time trying to figure out which channel I'm supposed to use as the primary channel. It literally took me like an hour just to pull up the freaking
Okay, so
manual on my phone.
Typically, they will always be spread apart just by one slot.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. But was I supposed to use channel A or channel B? And
That's up
which
to you,
slots
that
were
doesn't
channel
matter.
A and which slots were channel B? Because they were all the same color. Hence my frustration.
Alright.
Wish I could erase this one.
I chose this format of solid state drive.
Alright, so we're gonna skip a little bit ahead here.
Wait, what was he holding up?
A solid
holding
state
up
drive that was PCI slot rather
Oh.
than SATA.
Here, let's
Okay.
see.
It uses the back plane of the PCI rather than the back plane for the SATA, and it's generally regarded as faster,
It is.
but it's
It-
not. It doesn't have such a huge performance boost that it
That you
really
can tell.
matters that much. Well, sometimes you can tell.
Sometimes depends on what you're
Contact
doing.
with the rest of the system.
Okay, so here's where we're gonna get to the.
Brick,
Alright,
and make sure that you align it with these little
so he's installing the power supply now.
insulating pads, so the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
What?
So
What the fuck?
No.
Let's play that again. Let's play that
and
again.
you're gonna line this bracket with
So many
this.
brackets.
Now,
Bracket
what
everywhere.
you have to do is take the brick and make sure that
The
you
brick?
align it with these little insulating pads. So the
I
power
got news
supply
for you,
doesn't
buddy.
short-circuit
If your
and come
freaking
into
power
contact with
supply
the
is
rest of the
bricked,
system.
it's not useful anymore.
Okay.
What?
So-
It. If he's calling the power supply a power brick, he's a fucking console gamer.
Probably.
Insulation pad. Those are vibration pads, so the power supply doesn't rattle around, make a lot of noise. It's not going to shock you. Plus, you have your Riv Strong bracelet on it. You don't have to worry. Oh my God, the fire here right now. He was his pants.
He almost broke character with that reaction. I swear to God. He's like, what? Steven,
Oh,
so
man.
retarded. So retarded. Just like, oh yeah, don't let it short circuit the case. Wait, what do you mean? You're about to screw the power supply into the case. Those screws aren't non-conductive. They're going to connect the power supply to the case. So what do you mean you shouldn't let it touch the case?
slide it in nice and easy until you have a snug fit, and then
No, don't do that. You're going to shock and short circuit the power supply and case.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is the next part that I find fucking hilarious. For those not implemented, so this thing he's holding in his hand is called a radiator. It's the same thing as a car radiator. Water runs through it through little tubes that go past these kind of like fans. If you can see, it's kind of a little bit see-through, and then air pushes through the fans or through the little fins and cools the water. So it kind of creates this loop back of pulling hot water away and bringing cold water down to cool the power or the CPU. Why
Yeah,
did I
it's
almost say power
it's called a fin and tube coil. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's called a micro channel coil. They use it on, like you said, car radiators, and they're starting to use it on certain types of AC as well. The idea is the exact same as the heat sinks on your computer, on the processor, the CPU. I've had too much to drink. The fins absorb the heat from the water and spreads it out across the fin, which gives it more surface area. So as the air is passing through the fins, it absorbs the heat from the fins. It's a very, very efficient way to cool anything.
Right. So
Was this
If
the
you
video
look-
where he installs the power supply upside down? The
No,
fan's
no,
facing
that-
inwards,
that's-
which you don't want
that's-
anyway.
it depends on the case, but so one of the things that he does here, I'll explain. So there are tubes that run past those kind of like little white spots
Mm-hmm.
that because you can kind of see about 5 of them. One's next to his thumb, and then the rest of those white spots.
Yeah.
those are the tubes run past them. Now, what he is about to do, I'll play it and then explain why what he did was stupid.
Always be sure to try to place.
Hold on 1 second here. Go back.
Always be sure to
Wait.
try
Oh,
to.
Look at that, you can tell there's no fan installed on the radiator. He just mounted the radiator before the fan. The fan cannot go on top of the case. This case does not support it that way. How he gonna mount the fan later? I don't know. Then again, how am I even surprised at this point?
But in this case, no pun intended, it fits in perfectly. So there's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long.
Alright, so
Oh,
here's why
no.
this is stupid. Alright, so those screw holes go down to a certain point. They're meant for shorter screws if you're going to screw it directly into the case.
He's about to fuck that radiator up, isn't he?
Yes, so
Oh, no.
the screws that they are using is the long ones that are meant to go through the case, the fan, and then into the radiator.
Oh.
And he's about to screw the entire screw directly into the radiator.
Screws because
This
they
hurts
don't
to
have the
watch.
airframe of the cooler.
He used the wrong screw. He should use the small one. Those wrong screw for when you have the fan on the same side. He going to drill holes into the heatsink of the radiator. Oh my goodness. My family in China who made this product pinching so hard right now.
I love this guy.
So yeah, no.
I'm gonna
He's about
unsub
to
from him just to
destroy-
sub to him again. Jesus Christ.
He's about to destroy this radiator because it's a fucking moron.
And they take forever.
Did I take forever because you get up?
In this case, you need to match those cables with the correct descriptions on the power supply.
Typically, you want to put the cables in the power supply first. Some cases, very difficult to put it in after the fact.
Yeah.
Has a nice case.
We're installing the CPU, the
Oh, I'm
heart
scared.
of the computer or the brain, depending on
So
how you
am
look
I.
at it. So to
Going
do
to
this,
break
we're
it.
just going to remove the plastic covering that they put on the motherboard. We're just going to take this little plastic part out.
I can't believe he didn't do that first.
Okay. Yeah, no. Like, look, we can get into this. The way he's building this is just completely retarded. But he just threw away the cover for the socket. Right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Why would
the
you do that?
problem- You shouldn't do that. The problem is you're supposed to keep that no matter what, because that covers those 1,151 micro pins that are under there. That if any of those bend or break, will just completely destroy that power supply. Or god damn it, I've drank
The
it
board or the
The
process?
socket.
motherboard. The motherboard.
Board.
Yeah, and so he just tossed it. Just fucking tossed it behind him. It's just like, no! What are you doing?
Don't throw that away. That's
And
important.
now
You might
we
need
have
that
an
later.
exposed CPU holder, or rather slot.
CPU holder or slot. It's called a socket, my friend. You don't put it in the socket. You put something else in the slot, but not a CPU. That's for the socket.
And we're going to use the CPU
That's-
applicator. This is a special little part that not everyone
Applicator?
may get, but this motherboard that we got from ASUS definitely does have. It's called
Who
a
the
CPU
hell uses
installation
that?
tool. It makes it really useful if you want to install a Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got one, and it's an 8th generation.
Whoa.
Yeah,
And
we
it-
got one.
There's
Super
no
express.
pins. It's an i7. There's no pins. That
The pins are on the motherboard. Pins are only on AMD processor.
Hexacore?
yeah. No,
It's a hex-
I'm
they're
stuck
not
there.
they're not pins though. They're contacts.
Yeah. But I want you guys to hear his response to him saying this.
Okay.
You can only buy it on every major retailer in the world.
So
Like, oh yeah, we totally got this brand new processor. We're the only
That-
ones.
We're the only ones who have it. Yet everybody in the world has access
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
we got it.
I have I have probably. Is
What
that a?
did you get? What did you get? Did you get the
I think I got Coffee
97?
Lake. Yeah, it's an i7 9600.
Oh, it's the 9600. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
an 8-core. This is the 8700, which is a 6-core.
So mine's better than that one.
Yeah.
What having this little installer does for you is it's basically a brace that you can apply
Again with the braces.
right
he
to the
he revved his
CPU,
braces. What
clasp
if you
down
don't
on
have
it,
the
and you'll be good to
applicator?
go.
How you install? You follow this
But
guy.
you don't even
have no
need that.
idea how to
So
install.
Well, okay,
No.
so one thing that he does, and I'm actually going to pull this back a little bit here. You can see this poking out of his head. So he grabbed the applicator, right? Or whatever he called it. And then decides to discard it, but not mention that in the video. It's right next to his head on the table there.
Yep. They didn't actually cover him putting it in there and then taking the installer tool thing out.
Wow.
Have the
You'll be good to
applicator.
go.
How you install? You follow this guy. You have no idea how to
So we're
install
about to apply.
CPU.
So we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU.
This is about
This-
to hurt some people.
God, I
Every
can't
CPU cooler actually comes with a bit of thermal paste already.
I swear to God, if he puts it directly on the cooler, I am going to lose my shit.
No, listen.
circle around it, but it's usually not enough. It's
It's usually not enough.
What?
Citation
essentially PC
needed.
building practice to have a little bit extra
No.
and layer it on top
Oh,
of the
no.
CPU.
Are you fucking?
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Oh no.
What are you doing?
So okay, so here's the thing. All right, so if you're looking at the CPU, okay, the place that needs to be cooled is the center. He is creating a circle around the place that needs to be cooled. Not
So
only
that whole piece of metal is called a heat shield. What it does is it absorbs as much heat as it possibly can from the center and spreads it out so it transfers more easily to the heat sink, which is going to be attached to it.
So the thing is, he is going to use the already applied thermal paste that's on the heatsink, as well as what he is now layering on top.
And let's go ahead and go into why that's a bad idea. So thermal
Well, okay.
paste,
It's conductive.
thermal paste is thermally conductive. Generally, when you have something that's thermally conductive, it's also electrically conductive. You can imagine why that might be a problem if a little bit spills out onto the board.
It's
Yeah, 'cause
silicon.
you're
It's
gonna-
a fucking metal. Or no,
So
it's going to connect.
It's going to short a couple of circuits in that board.
Basically,
Just a couple of them.
it's also going to create, air pockets, which is not good for
Because those are, but believe it or not, air pockets are actually insulative.
yeah, and don't allow for heat dissipation, which is not what you want for that fucking CPU.
It's a CPU. You're not icing a cake. Okay, you look like a stop sign. Oh my God. He used the whole tube or what?
So you're gonna see that there are four.
Jesus.
Holy fuck!
You look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
oh my god.
What the fuck is this?
I was a fucking goddamn amateur when I built my rig, and I had enough common sense to know that if I put a bit in the middle, the fucking heatsink is going to spread it out.
So I
What the
feel
fuck?
I feel that if I ever see this guy on the street, I will have a very hard time not punching him in the face and calling him a dipshit.
It's just
He
so
should-
bad.
This guy should never be allowed anywhere near a CPU again, ever.
You're nothing electronic, not even a fucking
he's
keyboard.
not even he shouldn't even be allowed to hold it in its packaging.
Speaking of, I gotta find some of
Physically
that.
come in contact with it, like basically keep it cool. Take thumb screws like this and just screw them on. So now that
What is he doing?
I didn't see anything of there.
Yeah, right.
Top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all
Oh,
this
thank
fun
God
stuff
it's
is
done.
happening.
Priest
So
no
we
more.
fully built the PC.
It
Someone
runs.
else built that. Someone else built that.
Look at that cable management.
What cable management?
Oh my
Everything was
God.
put together,
Hold on.
and we got
Go back to
don't
that
worry
cable
of
management.
this-
What the f is that? You have such a good case. Your cable management look like a spaghetti.
Everything's put together, and we got to the post screen.
I'm not
So
very good
once
at cable
the-
management myself, so I can't talk about that.
We got
Okay,
to
let
the
me-
post screen.
Okay, let me explain something to you, Pig. Okay, so do you see the separation? Like you have this white top side over here, and then you have the tempered glass top side.
Yeah. There's
The
plenty of
entire
space in
white
there
side-
for all of his
the
cables to go in it.
Yeah,
I
and then they
understand
have-
that. I'm just saying that I'm really shit at cable management myself, so I can't really make fun of him for that.
It's just you have so much, but you have half a case to put it into.
I know, but still, I'm not allowed to make fun of him for his really, really abysmal cable management. Cause mine's really shit too. Yet even I'm better than that.
Pav, you don't want to see my tower. It is a mess.
I guess I'm the only one who can make fun of him
I
for
don't
it.
have, yeah, well, I don't have enough
Because
fucking
I actually
room
build
to do shit like that, so.
Well, I build PCs too. I'm just really, I'm not good at making it look pretty. I can pull them out of the way so they're not obstructing airflow and all that, but I'm just not good at making it look pretty.
That's I don't think that's entirely what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the fact of airflow. Like the making pretty thing, that's an enthusiast level of stuff that like you can do. I did it simply because I like to, but I'm not gonna criticize anybody for doing it. I'm talking about this fucking thing right here.
Oh yeah, there's so many obstructions in there that his graphics card isn't getting any airflow.
Also, you have like freaking like cables laying on top of the graphics card, adding more weight to it. Which is it's the back part is already drooping just in general.
Not to mention the fact that all of those sharp pins on the back plane of the graphics card rubbing against the water cooler hoses could eventually rupture it.
Yeah.
Because it's sharp.
Yep.
Spaghetti.
Everything's put together, and we got to the post screen.
Someone else put that together for him.
Amazing. That's the biggest surprise of all. He got to the post screen. Ladies
Right?
and gentlemen, round of applause. This has to be the worst PC building video of all time. And I should know. I wrote the book on how to not build a PC. Very scary. Someone who built a PC for the first time might think this is a good video to follow, and their PC explode. They don't know the video because they disable the like and dislike and the comment. So much censorship. Feel like I'm back in China.
That was kind of the point of most of the people who responded to this video, was like, this is such a bad video to explain to people who have no
I have that
idea
same
what's
mouse.
going on. Is that a Razer? No, that's Corsair.
No, that's Corsair. I switched to
Yeah.
Corsair for my mouse and keyboard this time around because I wanted to play with it for a little bit.
Corsair's got some nice hardware. I don't like their chairs.
I have never had a chair that has any name brand connected to it. So
Neither have I. Neither have
uh,
I, but they look fucking amazing.
I tried when it packs, and because of my back, like it's kind of built like a fucking racing chair, and the way the headrest is set up, it felt like someone was
most
pushing
gaming
on my
chairs
head.
are. Yeah,
No, it's
most
like
gaming
someone's-
chairs are kind of designed to look a bit like bucket seats nowadays.
Yeah, like I will. My problem was I would try to lean back, and my head had hit the headrest before my back did, and it felt like someone was just pushing my head forward. I'm like, okay, no, this is not good. This is not built for someone with a warped spine.
So, now that I have forced you all, audience included, to watch this video, which I would suggest going and subscribing to Britwit.
I already did.
Bitwit, not Britwit. He's not talking about
Bitwit.
Brexit here.
Bitwit. Okay. I need to
Not gonna find a whole lot of wit in Brits, so.
Yeah.
The
Hey, it's totally a lie.
So the whole point of this is to deal with what happens after this video comes out.
Yes.
So if you want to
Yes.
bring up the article
Yeah,
they're
I'll pull it up.
okay. So as
First article.
Finally.
Nice. As it was explained, probably just by the. I think I've said it. I don't know. I've had a bit to drink.
Haven't we all, Morty?
This was made by The Verge. And so what ended up happening was, after this video came out, it got a copyright strike from The Verge. There's a few other videos criticizing it. And after that whole thing went down, The Verge decided to make a response to it with this. Also, Vox Media owns The Verge, so you can obviously tell how this is going to go.
They copy strike themselves.
I'll go ahead and read the first one.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
So, The Verge, a note about YouTube copyright strikes from Vox Media, by Nilay Patel. Is that the guy who was in the video?
No, I believe this is the editor. This is the chief editor of Verge.
Alright. I want to address a situation around some YouTube copyright strikes, parentheses, since retracted, issued by The Verge and Vox Media that has gotten pretty toxic, and could have been avoided if the parties involved had simply reached out to me directly. No, that's not how that works, dude.
No, it's not how it works.
That's not how that works. It's called fair use. Yeah. Fair use, buddy. You abuse the copyright strike system on YouTube. Congratulations. Early this week, a number of YouTube reaction videos were flagged to Vox Media's legal team, who are very diligent and protective of our work. You mean they were breaking the law?
Yeah, basically.
2 of them were reactions to a PC build video we had made several months ago, which I determined did not meet our standards and had pulled from YouTube.
Explain what that means.
Surprise, surprise!
What
it didn't
standards?
meet anyone's standards.
They did delete the video. The video no longer exists on their YouTube channel.
Those 2 reaction videos used 90% of our footage without any edits, cuts, or otherwise transformative use. 2?
Yeah, we just watched one of them. I don't know what the other one is that they're referring to.
Okay, so maybe these 2 were appropriate, but the hundreds of others? Because there were hundreds.
Were there?
Yeah, there were quite a few of them. Maybe not hundreds. I might have been a little hyperbolic on that one.
I know of his and then the other one they refer to.
Anyways, these 2 reaction videos used 90% of our footage without any edits, cuts, or otherwise transformative use, and one of them in particular featured what our legal team felt was a pretty racist character.
Oh, come on.
Referring to
Really?
Lyle.
Our legal team felt this was not fair use and issued a copyright strike request to YouTube for those 2 videos. A number of our very critical videos were not responded to in any way. I'm sorry, I just watched that video, and...
We be responding now.
Sure. Those 2 reactions, that one did use quite a bit of your footage, but there were quite a few edits, quite a few
cuts,
and a lot of transformative use
in
it. And I'm sorry, but who are you to say he's not Chinese?
Basically.
You don't know.
Did you just assume his nationality?
He could be 1/1064th like Elizabeth Warren. You don't know.
YouTube notified the 2 channels in questions, said there was a chance our request wouldn't make it through, and asked our legal team for their case. Our team made the case. YouTube agreed the videos were not fair use and issued the strikes. That's horse shit. When this was brought to my attention a few hours later, I told them that although I fully agreed with their legal argument, I did not think we should use copyright strikes against legitimate channels even if we thought the videos crossed the line. You lying sack of garbage. This is a fucking PR garbage fire put out.
Yeah,
This is
And
basically.
again,
control.
I fully agree with our legal team that those videos crossed the line of fair use. No, they didn't. At my direction, the strikes were retracted. Here's the note from YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. He says again, the strikes were retracted at my specific instruction, not through any YouTube dispute process. This is basically him saying these strikes were lifted because I said they should be, and not because you had any fucking legal ground or anything. Yeah. This is what this whole fucking thing is coming off as.
Yeah, this isn't even an apology. This is just you should have done better, basically.
Why did
Like,
no one
I
email
am
me that they were going to make these videos? Fucking A.
Alright.
One thing I did not do was tweet about it, because I didn't think the nuance of this situation will lend itself to tweets, and also, quite honestly, because I didn't think it was a big deal. You fucking false flagged a
You
goddamn
had lawyers
video.
involved. What do you mean it's not a big deal?
How about you post your lawyer's claim that they sent to YouTube, and then we'll decide if they actually made a claim and YouTube didn't just like, oh, it's Fox. Strike!
If your lawyers get involved, it is no longer a small matter.
It is entirely a civil matter that takes place in the courts. The only reason YouTube actually went through with that is because if this actually happened, if lawyers actually contacted them, the only reason they went through the strike was because it was lawyers that were contacted them, and they were like, oh god, lawyers, shit bricks. That's it. Moving
About
on.
that dead hair.
Sorry. I was drinking.
I was waiting for someone. The Verge's YouTube channel has since been brigaded with dislikes and nasty comments, and there are now death threats. Bull fucking
What?
shit. Good luck staying alive. The internet doesn't forget.
Oh, come on! That's not directed
that's
at
not a-
people, that's directed at the fucking channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a death threat. That's directed towards the
Jesus.
channel, you... The Verge's YouTube channel has been blah 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 blah. Here's one. And he put the fucking name in there? A. Smith Novinsky.
It's got one like.
Just one, and he grabbed the screen grab of it for an hour prior, or an hour later.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I feel like this is a plant.
This is some pretty diehard cherry picking right here.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a plant. Just saying. This is all pretty disappointing, especially since I had retracted the strikes, and none of the people involved thought it important to simply ask me about it. Who the fuck are you?
This is the reason why I'm guessing he's he's like the editor or like the owner of The Verge. Here, let me click on his name. Yeah, editor-in-chief.
I'm looking at the first comment at the moment.
Alright.
From Octothorpe, in quotation marks, and none of the people involved thought it important to simply ask me about it. I hope everyone involved can take a moment and think about making sure they actually know what they think they know, and the value of communicating directly instead of simply reacting. Space. I don't know all the drama, but my hot take is that you deciding to override your legal department's guidance was probably the right move this time. I think the above quote is where the disconnect may be. To the YouTubers, the mechanics and outcome of the strike aren't made by Vox per se, but YouTube itself. So the method of appeal is between the alleged offender and YouTube, not Vox, and not you personally. Fucking cunt. I can't easily see from their perspective that contacting you directly either wasn't realistic, again from their perspective, or wouldn't have resolved the conflict, which was between them and YouTube. In their eyes, YouTube gave them a strike, so YouTube needs to remove it. Huh. Here's one. It'll be a tough day in frozen hell that first time an internet death threat, which was not, is acted upon. I think it wasn't a death threat. I think he meant good luck keeping the website alive. Boom. Couple of things. One, you guys need a better legal team if they didn't know that commentary falls under fair use. Two, that comment you showed us wasn't a death threat. It wasn't targeting anyone specific at The Verge. It was just another way of saying good luck trying to fix your reputation, which is enforced by the comment, also including that famous saying, the internet never forgets. 3, if the PC build video didn't meet your guys' standards, then please pull the article, since it is full of numerous inaccuracies as well.
Wow, that's obviously a death threat.
What? Fucking...
I want to start by saying that I'm glad you issued the retraction. However, I'm curious as to why you felt the Lyle video wasn't fair use. In your note, you mentioned that the video used a large portion of the video in a way that wasn't transformative. Based on my memory of the video, however, I'd argue the opposite. There were several cuts back to the presenter, and the commentary provided felt quite substantial. Furthermore, with this type of commentary, it was necessary to show visually what was occurring as opposed to just playing the audio and showing the presenter's reaction in real time. Would you mind explaining more in depth your reasoning why you felt the video wasn't fair use? If you don't feel comfortable posting your reasoning publicly, I'd be happy to email instead. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this person is fucking not really smart.
The guy responding got like way too fucking existential.
Making a fucking computer was an instructional video that would have ruined people's hardware. It was a video of an amateur doing something they barely knew. No. I won't even give him that much credit.
He's below
Didn't
amateur.
know how to do it. That was the issue.
Well,
if you don't know how to cook and you made a cooking video that was wrong and could make people sick, someone should point it out. What's the point of your post anyway? Aren't you being hypocritical? I may be a hypocrite. We all are sometimes. Some more than often. We all screw up. The point of my post is that this has nothing to do with making a computer and everything to do with an arrogant and toxic culture on both sides. You're
Oh my god.
fucking a moron. The Verge made a video that would have objectively ruined people's computers. That a very rich and famous tech site would do this is bad. Hence, people called them out on it. However, what I disagree with your comment is the part that this is both sides' problem. In this case, I find The Verge to be more at fault. People screw up. I understand that, but instead of apologizing for the mistake, as they should have had, they basically threatened everyone they went against it. Now, I'm pretty sure some toxic trolls reacted out there too, but they were a few very reasonable YouTube who did nothing but critique the video.
This guy started strong and then just lost.
Showcase technically why the instructions were a bad idea. These people also got a copyright strike. A very serious to their job as YouTuber. I don't think this guy speaks English, but so what do you think the YouTubers should have done? Not warn people that their computers were going to be fried if they did this? Let people waste thousands of dollars? This is not a small minor mistake. This would have ruined thousands of dollars worth of equipment. But I think the worst part is that the lack of an apology. No apology given for making a very incompetent and dangerous video. And even the apology given here is very much victim playing. I had a lot of respect for Verge, and that was your mistake. But lost a lot of it due to this. The fact that you had any to begin with is your mistake. The tutorial wasn't even the main problem, as was the Verge's
reaction
to the criticism. It feels like
old-timey.
Company
What?
trying to get rid of criticism.
The grammar is killing me too.
Yeah.
Inadvertently creating the Streisand effect. Trying to twist that comment as a death threat wasn't particularly a good mood either, when it obviously was referring to the reputation of the site. The initial mistake was a problem, but it was the doubling down that is disgraceful.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I kind of wish, you know, he was better at writing. That's the word I'm looking for.
Here's a good way to sum it up. The nature of advice given was equivalent to, quote, "Hey, put Coke where the engine oil goes. It'll cool your car better," unquote. So yeah, it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Here's one. By the way, your closing comment kind of sucked. Your closing comment kind of stuck out to me. I'm channeling Pav at the moment. I hope everyone involved can take a moment and think about blah blah blah. He quoted it. Did you consider reaching out to the YouTube channels before issuing them strikes?
Dogeman is kind of just coming in with a lot of reactions.
He's fucking like... He's everywhere in this thread.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah, basically. They react to mistakes the same way Apple does.
So I'm not going to continue with the. Go ahead with what you were going to say.
For me, with this whole thing is like, I thought this was just funny at first because I find the whole thing hilarious, and I also find the video to be god awful. Like, one of the responses was made like later on by Jay Suzanne, which is another big YouTuber that makes fucking computers, and he did a video where he did everything the internet tells him not to do when building a computer. Right? Not one of those things was done by this guy, the guy who made the original video by The Verge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with all the things the internet tells you never to do while building computers.
Yeah, he did them.
Yeah. It was... The whole thing is just really dumb, and, like, I didn't know that The Verge was actually a YouTube channel. Like, or...
You didn't know The Verge had a YouTube channel?
Tech channel. Was a tech, like...
Was a tech site?
Yeah, I just thought it's dived too much into politics to where, like, sometimes I forget that it is supposed to be centered into tech.
Are we done with the My Circle really quick?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. All right, cool. Because it was blinking at me and I wanted it to stop.
All right. But no, dude. So the main point, the reason why I was kind of I wanted to bring this up was half because I thought the video by Lyle was fucking hilarious. But it's because of this non-apology and just absolutely retarded comment at the beginning.
It was,
and it could have been avoided.
It wasn't even attempted. It wasn't even an attempt at freaking apology. It was a condescending. Fucking words. It was a condescending remark about, you should have come to me with this rather than making a YouTube video about it.
Which in all honesty would haven't done much. The point of the video, most of the videos that were made, like I watched a few of the other ones, and including Lyle's video, was explaining why the things that they explained, that they showed in the video as being a tutorial to build computers, would have been harmful for your computer.
Not only would it have been harmful, it would have freaking destroyed it. It would have been fatal.
Like that radiator.
The radiator? The thermal paste?
Yeah,
now the freaking RAM, that would have just been, it doesn't work. but it wouldn't have actually damaged the computer. But the thermal paste and the radiator, that would have killed your computer, because that radiator would have leaked. And that water would have dripped over everything.
It wouldn't have just leaked. Your CPU would have been getting up into temperatures that it shouldn't have been, as well as.
So, here, what I'm saying here is, it's not just it. The leak itself would have been fatal, because water would have gotten all over the motherboard. It would have gotten all over the graphics card.
It just wrecked everything.
Would have wrecked everything. That's if it had gotten that far. Because if that thermal paste had gotten to the gates leading to the CPU, it would have shorted the board, and it would have fried things. That board would have been dead.
I mean, you can't tell me that someone somewhere at The Verge has never built their own rig before. You could have found someone who knew something, anything.
It's like, I think Verge should have, I honestly think The Verge should have left that video up, but just retitled it, How Not to Build a PC.
There was, I think there, Paul's Hardware, another pretty big YouTuber who's been around for a while. He kind of created a video, not really criticizing the original video, but just explaining why things went wrong. And one of his statements was, if The Verge had changed what they were doing, if they had uploaded the video with the title "We messed up building a PC," or we failed building a PC, this would have gone significantly better. But they didn't. They doubled down, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we are completely in the right here." All of these people who were freaking out at us were either racist trolls or, just sending us death threats. But didn't even, like there was one line in that article that was, it didn't meet our standards, so we took it down. Nothing, the majority of that article should have been like, yeah, we messed up. This was a bad video, and explaining why. Because this is a thing that happens all the time. Someone reports something that's like false or not really all that good, and then they come out later with a redaction or a correction, and it doesn't get as much viewership. So, no viewership, because all those people who originally saw the original article or video or whatever, they don't come back for the correction. So they go on thinking that the original article was correct. And this kind of fits along that a little bit, because this is them responding to the drama, and at no point in time did they ever come out and say, no, this isn't how you should build a PC. Condemnation after condemnation of the YouTubers and other people who criticized them were in this article. None of it was explaining, okay, here's how we messed up. It was just condemnation, feeding into the idea that anyone who criticized them, like whether or not the criticism was valid or not, was just hated The Verge or was just sending them death threats.
I feel
like there was no statement in here, whatsoever. Like, when this was brought to my attention a few hours later, I told them that I fully agreed with their legal argument and didn't think the copyright strikes were against legitimate channels if we thought the videos crossed the line. No, whatsoever statement from him saying, yes, the criticism against us was correct. And that's wrong, in my opinion. Because if we go back to the original issue of this whole thing, the thermal base, what he did to that freaking... There were so many wrong things in there that should have been their focus, along with an apology, but they didn't even respond to that. They just said, hey, we're in the right, even though we're in the wrong. So fuck you.
Like, why y'all so mad?
So, serious question.
Mm-hmm.
I have... You know how when you buy computer parts, they come with badges?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an MSI badge, which is the dragon and the shield.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a Noctua badge, which is an owl.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out what to do with them.
Put them on the front.
I don't want to put them on the front.
That's what
I want to do something else with them. I'm thinking I'm just going to put them... I'm thinking I'm going to put them on my tool chest when I get my van. My work van. Think that's a good idea?
That or you can throw them in hookers.
Throw them in hookers?
No, throw them at hookers.
But
I'd rather throw them... I think I'd rather throw them into hookers.
Makes him poor Sep think he's fucking an android.
Yeah. Hey, what's with all these badges? Oh, those are my parts.
Those are my parts. Mark, you missed the best part.
Mark, you
all
better
downhill from here.
you'd better go and watch the beginning of this once we're done.
I feel like you're like one of the few in our audience who would also have the same reactions
as us.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
we nerded out a little bit too much with that first article, so why not? Next article.
Next article.
You did it wrong.
I know, I did. That's the
Next
point.
article. There we go.
Perfect.
Which is what? Fuck.
Hey, I just got off work like 5 minutes before we started the show, so
We've
guys
got
picked
I'm
the
not
other
blaming you.
articles.
So, I am
Gotta pick
caught. I'm kind of stuck between the pluralist one
Okay.
and the top Fox News one.
Ooh, that's a tough choice.
Yeah.
Do I have a coin somewhere? Oh, here we go. Oh, fuck it,
Eeny,
I'll roll.
meeny.
I'll die here. That's easier.
Fuck it. We're going with the top one.
Top one it is.
Who wants to read?
I'll read.
Okay.
I will spare you the embarrassment, Pop.
Let's wait. Let's just remember to hit the pause button on that freaking
Yeah.
video at the top.
Fuck you. Get out of here.
Fuck you.
All right. Let me make sure it's formatted in the window. You know it's not. Jesus Christ. Can we just have a fucking standard web page size? No, that'd be easy. We can't have that. Alright, let's move this over. Okay. So, courtesy of Fox News, Alabama-born ISIS wife who reportedly told Americans to kill themselves is now begging to come home.
Hey, wait a second. Quick question. How long have we been doing this?
Oh,
year?
shit. Little over
Is
a
it a-
year.
Little over. Okay, I was right then. Over a year now.
Yeah. When did we start? Like
you go.
December of 18? I don't remember.
Was it December?
Might have been late November.
It was this. It had to have been.
It was around
Yeah, it had to have been November or December.
No, November of 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. On with the article. Okay, So, an Alabama woman who reportedly posted a tweet encouraging Americans to kill themselves after being, quote, brainwashed, unquote, into joining ISIS years ago, is now begging for officials to let her back into the U.S.
Yeah, no.
The plea from Hoda Muthana, 24, comes following her recent escape from ISIS and capture by Kurdish forces. She's being held in a refugee camp in northeast Syria and told The Guardian in an interview that her last 4 years with the terrorist group have been a traumatizing experience where, quote, we starved and we literally ate grass, unquote.
Oh, what's that? You want to go to a third world country, and then be part of a rebel group? Surprise, surprise! You had it hard.
That's what you get.
I'm actually of the opinion. Okay, so you were part of a extremist Muslim group, and eating grass and starving were your traumatic experience of that? What kind of...
What did you expect?
I was going to say, if that's the traumatic experience you were talking about, what was all the other shit you were going through? Tuesday? So, like, how fucking shitty was your husband treating you in the United States before you went over there? That was just... the traumatic experience was starving and eating grass.
Fucking A. Quote, I would tell them, please forgive me for being so ignorant, and I was really young and ignorant, and I was 19 when I decided to leave, unquote. She told the newspaper when asked if she had a message.
You renounced your U.S. citizenship.
Oh, did she?
Virtually.
She left the United States and joined ISIS. She renounced her citizenship.
Quote, I believe that America gives second chances. I want to return, and I'll never come back to the Middle East. America can take my passport, and I wouldn't mind, unquote, she added, noting that she has not been in contact with anyone from the State Department. Oh, boy.
Okay, so she was recruited through the internet?
Yeah, that's
She wasn't. She didn't follow her husband. She went over there. How?
Ay. So, Muthana first made headlines in 2015 after it emerged that she left her family in Birmingham, Alabama to join the bloodthirsty terrorist group. An attorney representing her parents at the time said Muthana was, quote, brainwashed, unquote, over the internet, according to the Associated Press, and that she went against her family's wishes and the teachings of Islam by secretly boarding a plane to Turkey in late 2014 to link up with ISIS. The attorney said it then, but it wasn't until Sunday, in her interview with The Guardian, that Muthana admitted herself that she was, quote, brainwashed, unquote, and made a, quote, big mistake, unquote. I thought
I'm sorry. A big mistake is forgetting to get your oil changed, and the engine seizing on you because it's old, and you've been forgetting to get your oil changed for like a year and a half now. That's a big mistake. Joining a extremist organization that is literally saying death to America, death to the West, that's way beyond a big mistake. I personally would call that treason, because you're joining an enemy of the state. You have literally become an enemy of the state.
Good luck, lady.
That's what they call treason.
Yeah. Oh my God. I thought I was doing things correctly for the sake of God, she said, adding that she was brainwashed once and my friends are still brainwashed. The newspaper says Muthana, during her time with ISIS, lived in their once stronghold of Raqqa and was married to jihadists from Australia, Tunisia, and Syria, the first two of which had been killed in battle.
Surprise, surprise.
In 2015, Muthana reportedly operated a Twitter account and once tried to use it to incite Americans to commit acts of violence amongst themselves on national holidays. Whoo! Americans, wake up, men and women all together. You have much to do while you live under our greatest enemy. Enough of your sleeping, she once wrote, according to The Guardian. Go on drive-bys and spill all of their blood, or rent a big truck and drive all over them. Veterans, Patriots, Memorial, etc. Day. Kill them. Yeah, no.
Yeah. You don't get to. You can't take that back. You can't take stuff like that back.
You want to go out with your friends and I didn't get any of that, she said. I turned to my religion and went in too hard. I was self-taught and thought whatever I read, it was right. Well, maybe you shouldn't have left. Too fucking bad. Now Muthana is not allowed to leave the camp she is being held at and has to be escorted around by Kurdish fighters more than 6,500 miles away from the Alabama city she once called home. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's it.
You missed one part. It says she now has an 18-month.
Oh shit! I skipped right over that. Fuck.
One of her ISIS marriages. In her interview with The Guardian, she also claimed her parents were too strict on her in their upbringing.
Oh yeah, sure. Blame your parents. Blame your parents for your fuck up. You're a spoiled little child. Thought that what you were doing was going to get you power and prestige, and when you got there, you realized it was hell.
I'll show you, Mom and Dad. Allahu Akbar. Fucking. What the?
You got to put a little bit more wine in that Allahu.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
Allahu Akbar.
I get a bit more of a southern twang on it too, because it's fucking Alabama we're talking here, not fucking Minnesota.
Yeah.
Some guy responded in the comments, "Keep your Akbar to yourself." And that's the only comment I'll read because this is fucking Fox News. The rest of them are just a little off the mark.
I turned to my religion and went in too hard. I was self-taught and thought whatever I read, it was right. The religion of peace. All right. Stay the hell gone. We used to call it treason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. Sure, bring her to the U.S. where she can become a member of the U.S. House of Representatives or the U.S. Senate. What the fuck kind of a comment is that? It seems really far out there. Alright.
Yeah.
A lot of dead air right now. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Trying to fathom some stupidity here, and we just fucking can't. Oh, man. Apparently that Swedish chick who stopped the flight to get a deportation averted is being fined, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got here?
Next article.
All right.
Killing your mic doing that.
Yeah. This would be the Pluralist article since you brought that up.
Alrighty.
Ah, yes.
You want to cover this one?
This
or?
has been in the news all fucking week. I'm almost getting. Well, I am getting sick of hearing about it, but we got to cover it.
So, Pav, do you want to read this, or do you want me to?
Sure, I'll read it. The reason Jesse Smollett faked his attack may have just been revealed. I'm not sure who this person is. But I guess I'll find out.
No one is, but he's been in the news all week.
When the letter didn't get enough attention, he concocted that staged attack. As leaks increasingly suggest that Jesse staged a racist theme attack against himself His possible motivation has been a big unanswered question. On Monday, reported by CBS Chicago, offers a partial answer. Chicago police suspected that Jesse, a 36-year-old actor on Fox's Empire, was upset that a racist letter is sent to him on set of the show. Failed to get a bigger reaction. The local TV station reported, citing multiple sources with direct knowledge of the investigation. Jesse then paid 2 Nigerian brothers to attack him a week later. Police reportedly suspect... Okay, I already read that. A source at CBS 2 and other sources reported corroborating that information. If the goal was to get attention, the attack worked, triggering
credulous.
Credulous, an interesting word. And outrage responses from the media, liberals, and leading Democrats, which have become embarrassing in light of recent revelations. Previous reports had suggested that Jesse orchestrated the incident and tried to avoid being written off Empire. But Fox and Jesse representatives both denied that he was at risk of being cut from the cast. Jesse received a letter which contained white power on January 22nd at Chicago's Scene Space Studios, where Empire is filmed. Promoting a hazmat response, Chicago police said the white powder, not white powder, the white substance was later determined to be aspirin. I'm sorry.
White powder is so modular you can put it in a fucking envelope. We ship it through the postal service every day. Shit.
The text appeared to be pasted together from characters cut out from magazines, combined with racial and homophobic threats towards Jesse. A magazine and book of stamps are among the pieces of evidence seized from the brothers' home last week during a search conducted by Chicago police, CBS2 reported. So they searched his house and then found all of the evidence saying that he wrote the letter?
Well, what they did was, so originally he said, two white guys attacked me at 2 a.m. during a fucking blizzard. And they said something like, "This is MAGA country," something like that. And camera footage shows 2 men walking away from the scene of the crime. Well, it turns out they're 2 Nigerian guys who have a prior history with Jesse Smollett here. And the cops took the brothers in for questioning and searched their place and found all this evidence that suggests that Smollett
paid them
to go out and get everything and basically staged everything. So it's like, what the fuck?
He described the letter Thursday during an emotional appearance on ABC's Good Morning America. On the letter, it had a stick figure hanging from a tree with gun pointing towards it. He told the host, Robin Roberts. MAGA was written in red letters in place of a return address, he also said. He also offered his version of the attack. He said that the 2 men jumped him outside of the Chicago apartment in the early hours on January 29th. They pegged him as gay, a black actor from Empire. He said they used racial and homophobic slurs against him, at one point shouting, "This is MAGA country." After the attack, he noticed a rope around his neck and a bleach stain on his clothes, he said. The actor claimed to be
Persecuted.
Persecuted. Yeah, I had my mouse over like half of the word because when I read, I highlight. Never mind. Not just by his attackers, but by American culture more broadly. He said he was pissed off about both the experiences and blamed Donald Trump for his plight, even though, as host Roberts pointed out, how did I read my last name wrong? The president had condemned the attack.
Wait.
I blame Trump.
Oh my god. So he goes, I blame the president for this. Host goes, well, he condemned the attack, and then he proceeds to go, well, I hate him anyway. It's like, that good, nice. That's the answer you give when someone comes to your defense. Jesus fucking Christ.
I come really, really hard.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Yeah, right. Against 45. And I come really, really hard against his administration. I don't hold my tongue, and I can only go off their words, he said, referring to the MAGA slogan and slurs he said his attackers shouted. Police, who were not offering further comment on Monday, have moved from investigating the attack as a potential hate crime to trying to establish whether Jesse fabricated the whole affair, reports say. Police spokesman, that person acknowledged Saturday. I can read Anthony is the last name. That's
Anthony Italiano.
Yeah.
Just say it's Anthony Fantano. There we go.
Anthony Italiano, I like that better. Acknowledged Saturday that newly discovered information has shifted the trajectory of the probe, ABC reported. According to reports, he knew the brothers. Yeah, from Empire, and they worked as extras. He offered them $4,000 to help him fake the attack, sources have said. And the three men even rehearsed the event the days before. He reported it. The brothers have been questioned by police and are now reportedly being monitored as persons of interest. In a joint segment to CBS Chicago Monday, and the brothers said, "We are not racist, we are not homophobic, and we are not anti-Trump. We were born and raised in Chicago and are American citizens." In due course, all of the facts will reveal themselves, and at the end of the day, my clients are honest and credible. The brothers' attorney, yeah. Meanwhile, he has continued to play the victim. The actor is angered and devastated and has been further victimized by reports. Why is there so many fucking videos from Now This? I don't know if you guys are getting this, but they're just like everywhere, and they're playing things, and I'm getting distracted by reports. The men told the police that he enlisted them to attack him. His attorneys sent in a statement released Saturday night. They outright denied the claims against their client. As a victim of hate crime who has cooperated with the police investigation, Jesse is angered and devastated by the reports that the perpetrators are individuals he is familiar with, and his attorneys, Todd and Victor, are he has been further victimized by the claims of claims attributed to these alleged perpetrators, and Jesse played a role in his own attack. Nothing is further from the truth, and anyone claiming otherwise is lying. The lawyer went to express a disbelief at the notion that he could have been so betrayed by the brothers, with whom he worked on Empire. Empire is what that's the show with what's his name? It's an all black cast, right?
I don't know.
Is it an entire I don't think I've ever... Huh.
I don't know. I don't
Why do you guys...
watch
What?
TV.
Why do you guys...
I guess this actually is a really hot topic, because apparently Monday Matt just uploaded talking about this whole thing like 40 minutes ago.
Oh,
Alright,
shit.
alright.
We
To
could have beat
respond-
him if we had done this first, guys.
To respond to Rimshi, they don't let me read. They push me to read.
Like I said, it's less let, it's more make, because we get some entertainment out of it.
Fuck you. Alright, you guys finish the fucking article. I'm done with this shit.
All right. Where were we?
I got you. The lawyers went on to express disbelief at the notion that Smollett could have been so betrayed by the brothers with whom he worked on Empire. One of these purported suspects was Jesse's personal trainer, whom he hired to ready him physically for a music video, the statement continued. It is impossible to believe that this person could have played a role in the crime against Jesse or would falsely claim Jesse's complicity. A grand jury will hear the case next week, TMZ reported, though the celebrity news site did not elaborate on who is facing charges or for what they might be. Jesus fucking Christ. This dude. I mean, based on what I've seen, it's like, okay, there's proof that the Nigerian brothers went out and bought everything to commit the crime. There's proof that they've been offered money. There's proof that from sources, those sources being the brothers themselves, that they rehearsed the attack. And this guy's like, nope, it's not them. Why would it be them? It's someone else. It's like, the fuck. The arrows point to you now.
So all the evidence is kind of pointed at you right now, guy. Just saying.
I hope you've got a really good. Hope you've got a very good diplomacy roll up your sleeve. Otherwise, you'll be going to jail. Fucking A.
He might want to start doing his Kegel exercises. Just saying.
Just gotta get it in early.
Get it in early. That way it won't hurt as much when it happens. Because it inevitably will.
Oh my god.
I'm back.
You left?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the trending tab. Cop-hating trans activist gets shot as social justice stunt ends in disaster.
I see that.
Oh, man.
Kamala Harris is asked about her Jussie Smollett modern-day lynching comments.
But he's not dead.
Men banned from national college debate. Transgender and women all only. That's going to go over well.
Jesus Christ.
Anti-cop YouTuber, you're Furry Potato. Anti-cop YouTuber Furry Potato gets herself shot. But what? Hold on. Cop? Oh, that's what cop-hating trans activists get shot by as social justice stunt ends in disaster.
I'll pull this up for a second.
This was a warning shot. A cop-hating transgender YouTuber who claims to pester law enforcement for the education and amusement of fans apparently went too far last week.
Education?
Zoe Perez, a.k.a. Furry Potato, told police that she was shot in the leg on Thursday by a security guard whom she was filming outside a Los Angeles synagogue. The 45-year-old vlogger weirdly hovered near the guard for at least half an hour before he finally fired off a round in her direction. Okay. Perez is part of a group of online influencers styling themselves First Amendment auditors who regularly test the patience of gun-toting government officials during live streams. According to her Patreon
sounds
fundraising
like
page,
such a great idea. Hey,
her content aims to educate people about their rights while holding police and government officials accountable to us.
hey, that guy's armed. I'm gonna go poke him with a stick.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Last year, Perez's campaign for social justice led her to threaten and radically slur U.S. Marines, which landed her in handcuffs. She explained at the time that she gets a pass for the epithets because she's brown herself. Okay. In a clip of her shooting, which was uploaded to her YouTube channel, Perez can be seen lurking outside the Etz Jacob Congregation Synagogue, which also serves as the Jewish high school Ohel Chana. Wow! Now I know why she got shot. The trans activist zooms in and out on the guard who stands behind a gate holding a handgun. Why are you recording us? Why are you recording me? Why are you recording this institution? You cannot answer. After 20 minutes of this, the guard, 44-year-old, name I'm not even going to...
We'll give you a pass there.
Draws his firearm in an attempt to warn off Perez. This guard just pulled a gun out on me, she says from behind the camera. Perez lingers for several more minutes, even moving closer to Zuri blah blah blah. At one point, get the hell out of here, he says, tightening his grip on the gun. I mean, I don't blame him for being freaked out. He's guarding a Jewish synagogue and a Jewish high school. You got a person who's been standing there for the last 30, however long, filming, just filming it.
Fucking warned him before he drew the gun, too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He just pulled a gun on me. I'm like, no. If someone says, what are you doing here, and you don't answer, I'm gonna go with that suspicious.
Well, the guard got arrested and charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
If his face was a little trigger happy, he may have been on edge. LA Jewish institutions have been tightly secured ever since a gunman opened fire at a Jewish school in 1999. And in November, a man tried to run over pedestrians outside a local synagogue. There are a lot of kids around here, so they need to know you're not some kind of weirdo because you're not answering anybody's question. They just want to know why you have to take pictures of kids. I don't blame the guy. He's trying to do his job. You've got this weird-ass looking fucking person. This very weird, drugged-out looking person. I'm looking at this picture of what's-her-face.
Yeah.
I can't say I wouldn't have reacted the same way in his shoes. I mean, well, I would have reacted differently. I would probably would have called the police and then drew my gun.
I called for backup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I love it.
He'll never be a security guard again, though.
Nevertheless, Perez's viewers were eager to make her the victim of an armed oppressor, with adding a little anti-Semitic flair. Does this guard think he's working at the Gaza Strip or something? Mocked one user, referencing the Hans Run coastal enclave on Israel's border. The Jewish architecture is nice, but it looks like a double chin magnet testicle dressed as a guard ruins the type of aesthetic that the building may have. Just saying.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, the clip of it, he's just standing there. Recording him.
He's just standing there recording me menacingly. But, I mean, you can't say that he didn't give a warning.
Yeah. So it said that he got arrested?
Yeah, the guard got arrested.
Yeah, he got arrested and charged with a felony assault charge. Which was the right thing to do from the standpoint of the law. He did while the moron was behaving very threateningly, with the recording for nonstop for like 45 minutes and instigatively, he did not.
Not the best idea.
He didn't handle the situation as well as he could have. He definitely should have called the police, and the police would have arrested Creepy McCreekface.
Yeah.
Instead of arresting him, because Creepy McCreekface was doing some pretty sketchy shit.
Was creeping around.
Taking video. Casing the joint, if you will.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, no script. Shit, why am I yawning?
Because it's freaking 9 minutes to the end of the show, so let's get this next article.
Yeah, which
I think we have one more, and it's probably one that I really think we should cover.
Which one's it gonna be?
Cortez.
Oh, everyone's fucking favorite. God. Every time anyone mentions her, I just want to fucking shoot myself. Oh man,
the Amazon one.
Bill de Blasio corrects Ocasio-Cortez's claim about spending Amazon tax break money.
Yes. So one night, Buck decided to send me a video from Tim Pool, kind of going over some of the situation between Amazon and Cortez. And the end result of it was that Cortez was using the $3 million tax break towards Amazon as New York giving Amazon $3 million.
Apparently it's billion.
Billion.
$3 billion.
Yeah. But that's not how
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio suggested on Sunday that critics of the potential Amazon campus New York City, such as Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, got the facts wrong over the money behind the tax breaks. On Sunday morning, de Blasio responded in the affirmative when Chuck told the NBC News Meet the Press, asked if the tax breaks offered to Amazon weren't money you had over here and it was going over there. The Democratic mayor said and that $3 billion that would go back in tax incentives was only after we were getting the jobs and getting the revenue. There's no money. Right, de Blasio added. Amazon had chosen the Long Island City neighborhood of Queens to build a $2.5 billion campus that would house 25,000 workers, in addition to new offices planned for Northern Virginia.
Oh my god.
This is actually kind of funny. A tweet from Donald Trump Jr. Will someone please explain to me how it's possible for New York City to spend a $3 billion tax break on anything? This is insanity.
Yeah, okay, so Alan Smith's tweet is kind of funny. At Cortez, responding to criticism that by Amazon pulling out of their headquarters in Queens, 25,000 jobs were lost. We were subsidizing those jobs.
Oh my god.
Says if City State is willing to give away $3 billion for this deal, investment can be made in hiring teachers and so So to explain, a tax break is, and I think Tim Pool explained this very easily. So what a tax break is if Amazon had gone over there, if Amazon had gone over there and accumulated in $50 billion in tax revenue, right, to give back to New York City.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt really quick. Buck, could you please stop playing with your airsoft pistol when we're talking about a representative of the United States, or a United States sitting representative, please? I'd really rather you not be making those noises. Really would. Well, everybody, it was definitely an airsoft pistol.
It was.
It was an airsoft pistol.
So if Amazon had came over and they had accumulated like $50 billion in tax revenue for the state of New York, they would only have to have paid $47 billion. That's how a tax break works. Not if they come over there.
That was the remote.
Amazon is going to get $30 billion of tax money.
Yeah, it's and
so basically, everything that New York could have made from this deal is gone.
Yep.
The entire incentive behind this is, oh, come over here and you won't have to pay $3 billion of your first amount of tax revenue. You have to pay everything else. Right, which
it's a discount.
Amazon makes Amazon makes a shit ton of money. So
and it was only a temporary thing, anyways. It was only until they had the 25,000 employees.
Yeah.
To continue the article, if we were willing to give away $3 billion for this deal, we could invest those $3 billion in our district ourselves if we wanted to. We could hire out more teachers. We can fix our subways. We can put a lot of people to work for that money if we wanted to. Ocasio-Cortez said last week after the technology giant announced on Thursday that it had dropped plans to build the new headquarters in America's largest city amid pressure from politicians and activists.
This hurts my brain. How can you be so fucking dense?
There's an article. Amazon blasts Ocasio-Cortez, says we don't want to work in this environment in the long term. I am going to go ahead and open that in a new tab. The mayor also noted to Todd that the deal could have been a way for progressive leaders to show a balance on economic issues. I have no problem with my fellow progressives critiquing a deal or wanting more from Amazon. I wanted more from Amazon too. The bottom line is, this was an example of an abuse of corporate power. They had an agreement with the people of New York City. He added, they said they wanted a partnership, but the minute there were criticisms, they walked away. What does that say to working people? That a company would leave them high and dry? Oh, fuck you.
Fuck off.
Yeah, so I think Amazon pulling out was probably a good thing.
Yeah, no, it absolutely was. It kind of said the message of, we don't have to build here if we don't want to. We were planning on building here because you guys gave us an incentive to build here, and then you started taking away that incentive. So, yeah, no, we're not going to build here anymore. The city was eager to lure the company and its thousands of high-paying technology jobs, offering billions in tax incentives and lighting the Empire State Building in Amazon orange in November. What? Okay. De Blasio and Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo said the $2.8 billion in tax breaks and subsidies they were offering Amazon would result in $27 billion in tax revenue. The governor and the mayor had argued that the project would spur economic growth that would pay for the $2.8 billion in state and city incentives many times over, and that's correct. We are disappointed to have reached this conclusion. We love New York. Cuomo lashed out at fellow New York politicians over Amazon's change of heart, saying the project would have helped diversify the city's economy. Yes, it would have. Cement its status as an emerging hub of technology. Well, you fucked that up. And generate money for schools, housing, and transit. Yeah. A small group of politicians put their own narrow political interests, political ignorance, above their community.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Amazon one. The fallout from Amazon's decision to walk away from its planned headquarters in New York is ratcheting up after a company spokesman publicly blasted Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I can't roll my R's, and other lawmakers, saying they had made it a hostile environment to do business. That's true. If you talk to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, it's never Amazon, Jody Seth, the head of policy communications for Amazon, told NBC News in an interview on Thursday. If you talk to New York City Councilman Jimmy Van Bramer, it's unions. Seth added that it wasn't any one incident that drove the Seattle-based tech giant to its decision, adding that the virulent political discourse that occurred over the past 3 months was what led to the decision. It was that the environment over the course of the past 3 months had not gotten any better. Excuse me. There were some local and state elected officials. Excuse me. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. Elected officials who refused to meet with Amazon and criticized us day in and day out about the plan, she said in the interview. Seth, who has been at Amazon since October 2017, according to her LinkedIn profile, said the company did not know whether the deal would be approved until a year from now, but said it was pretty confident in the approval, mentioning that New York Governor Andrew Cuomo was working hard to make it happen, but looked at the opposition and the timeline, we decided we don't want to work in this environment in the long term. I don't blame him. In a fiery statement on Thursday, Cuomo blamed the shocking decision on socialist Democratic darling Ocasio-Cortez and others like her. A small group of politicians put their own narrow political interests above their community, which poll after poll showed overwhelmingly supported bringing Amazon to Long Island City. The state's economic future and best interests of the people of the state, Cuomo said publicly. The New York State Senate has done tremendous damage. They should be held accountable for this lost economic opportunity.
So I like.
Yeah, vote him out.
This is the mayor of New York City, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
What, Cortez?
No, this is the governor.
Or
Yeah,
governor
Cuomo was
is
the
the-
governor, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's the one who's like really pissed about this.
Well, yeah, I could imagine 25,000 jobs, like a shit ton of tax revenue from
How many people live in Queens?
I don't
Jesus. Yeah, that'd be a hard number to come up with just off the top of my head.
know. A lot.
Okay. Ballpark, how many people live in New York City?
So there's 2.36 million people in Queens.
Queens. There. Okay.
Yeah.
25,000 jobs. That's 25,000 more people living in Queens and surrounding areas that would have jobs who don't have jobs now.
Right.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Good chunk. Yeah.
Good job, AOC.
And she's fucking going on about worker exploitation, and what she cites is like fringe examples, which sounds to me, I looked into them, it sounds more like shitty management, like the managers themselves, than what the company expects. Source, I work for Amazon. Fucking.
No, I was actually looking through that very Twitter thread. So many people were saying that this is bullshit. We work for Amazon. They don't treat us like this. And then people kept coming back. It's like, oh, well, I know this one guy who blah 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 anecdotal. That sounds like a shitty manager.
Yeah.
Not Amazon.
Never have I ever been forced to work overtime.
Upon hearing the news, Ocasio-Cortez, who has an undergraduate degree in international relations and economics, cheered Amazon's decision. Anything is possible. Today was the day a group of dedicated, everyday New Yorkers and their neighbors defeated Amazon's corporate greed, its worker exploitation, and the power of the richest man in the world. Fucking moron.
Hero
Ocasio-Cortez's reaction led to significant blowback on social media from prominent, the word is prominent, businessmen and economists, the word is economic, fuck that word, across the political spectrum. The lost jobs would have paid an average $150,000 per year.
So they're not just, it's not just 25,000 warehouse jobs. These are good paying jobs, because this is fucking HQ2 we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's work. Screw just the whole idea that it's Amazon. It's like they're thinking, people when they hear Amazon, they're thinking a warehouse. Yeah, even that would have brought a lot of work to Queens. Even that would have brought a lot of jobs to New York.
Yeah.
But this was the HQ. We're talking, not only would this have brought jobs to the construction, because they had to build it.
Yeah.
It would have also brought jobs to the tech industry out there, people who have to actually run everything in there, IT professionals who had to run the servers and everything in the building, freaking maintenance engineers. It's not just the fat cats who are going to get money out of this.
I'm sure
it's not just the freaking high up there fucking 10 years of experience making 150 to 200 grand a year. It's also the freaking guy, the Joe Schmoes who are making 30, 40, $50,000 a year.
Yeah, so some of these tweets, I think, are the businessmen and economists. Amazon's jobs and investments will go to a different congressional districts. They're greed undiminished, not the way to represent your constituents. Another guy says, after killing Amazon's New York City HQ, not sure progressive Democrats deserve either title. This move was both anti-progressive, negative for the development and their tech jobs, and anti-democratic. Polls show 70% of New Yorkers were in favor. Victory lap for them, not New York City. Yes, the experts is...
Yes, except there is a bad guy, quotation marks here. The New York City politicians who apparently don't understand how tax subsidies work. New York City would not have paid Amazon $3 billion. We would have collected gigantic pots of tax revenue as well as the spending power of 25,000 well-employed people. And he's quoting, I find it weird that people talk like Amazon was being flaky. They thought they had terms. Then New York polls tried to change the terms. Polls as in politicians.
Yeah.
Which was fine. There was no contract yet. But it was also fine for Amazon to say no. Sometimes no one is the bad guy. There's just no deal. And a response directly to Cortez, I hope that the same group of dedicated New Yorkers will work with our tech sector to find a consolation prize for LIC and the kids who are growing up in New York City, being taught STEM skills in our public schools and want good jobs that excite them and give them a path to better lives. I mean, yeah, if you're learning STEM skills, odds are you're going to move west.
Basically.
I can certainly tell you that in state, Cortez has just canned her chances of re-election.
I sure hope so.
Sure yeah.
With a 70% of New Yorkers in favor, yeah.
Amazon, which currently employs 8,000 people in the state, and that's just the warehouses, according to NBC, said it would disperse the 25,000 jobs throughout its 17 corporate offices and tech hubs in the US and Canada, including some in New York. However, Seth added that Amazon does not intend to reopen talks with New York lawmakers and does not intend to find another headquarters for the jobs. I think it's actually said that they're going to be putting it in Kentucky or Tennessee.
I read Nashville,
moving out of the.
but...
Yeah.
That's pretty firm, Seth told the news outlet. Amazon said it would proceed as planned with the second part of its HQ to, Northern Virginia, which will be built in Northern Virginia, as well as its operations center that it said it would open in Nashville. That's what is going on.
Okay, it's not.
Okay. Yeah. In addition to 25,000 jobs, Amazon would have brought $2.5 billion in investment and eventually 8 million square feet of office space to Long Island City as part of the deal announced last November. The Jeff Bezos-led company said it would have generated incremental tax revenue of more than $10 billion over the next 20 years as a result of its investment and job creation.
Which would have helped the
Which would have helped the entire state.
Yeah,
not just the city. The entire state.
Yeah, the governor is pissed, and I can see why. Like, could you imagine that? You know, you got this giant ass tech company that's just been on the West Coast the entire time, and they're like, "Yeah, we really want
you to come out here. We really want you to come out here.
We'll give you this, we'll give you this," and they're like, "Okay, that's great, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people show up and they start making them feel so uncomfortable, and I could just see him like in the back of his head just being like, "What the no, guys, what are you doing?" And then they leave and they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
And Ocasio-Cortez is like, "Hey, I saved us $3 billion," and it's like, no. Like, what was the
No, you stupid bitch. You just cost us probably about $30 billion.
What was the analogy that Tim Pool used? It's akin to a customer comes in with a $10 off coupon and you say, "No, you must pay full price," so they decide to leave. And then you go to your boss and say, "Hey, I saved us $10. It's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yep. It's someone who doesn't.
I thought Inslee was a lousy politician. I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, I didn't really. I thought Cortez was just an idiot who wants to tax the rich like a ridiculous amount. No. She's more than an idiot.
She's a dense idiot.
She doesn't even know how taxation works.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the economics part of the degree was the minor.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say she never even got to the economics part of the degree.
Just got it off the internet. I went to online school, you guys.
No, she's... I know, I still think my favorite statement is, after killing Amazon's New York HQ, not sure if the Progressive Democrats deserve either title. That's...
Yeah, that... Oof.
Somebody responded with privilege, tank the world economy with greed, skip accountability for crimes, and then lecture the Queen's families who felt victims and both to be oppressive.
What crimes has Amazon committed? What? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
You have to have gone to college to say something that retarded.
Someone else responds with, Amazon still could have come to New York without the ability to bend the will of politicians to their every whim. They weren't interested. good riddance. I want the politicians to look out for the best interests of their citizens who live, and not the potential H-1Bs.
Amazon wasn't holding any of the cards. Well, they were kind of holding the cards, but this hurts. This fucking hurts. Also, it's like 11:15 for Pig.
Yeah, it is. My ADD is like kicking in fucking hardcore right now. I just got distracted by Twitter.
The Twitter will do that.
Yeah.
Twitter will definitely do that.
I think that's all of our articles. I mean,
we've got a couple more that we could go into. However, it's 11:15, and I got to be up in the morning. So.
Yeah.
That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on Locked and Loaded. Be sure to catch our sister show, the Pre-Saints Show, before the YouTube Saints on Fridays. I don't know what exact their time slot is.
6:30? I think the show starts at 7:30 Pacific, so it should be 6:30 Pacific. I think.
Aroundabouts.
Yeah.
Jables, you still in? Jables and Rimshi, are you guys still in the audience? Go ahead and fill them in on
please confirm.
time slot. Please confirm.
Okay, I'm gonna take the silence from chat as a no.
I don't think they're still part of the audience, guys.
I'm gonna actually say for PTSD.
What?
Yeah. All right.
PTSD? What?
Yep.
What?
I said PTSD, but it's PST.
I was gonna say PTSD. What?
Pacific Standard Stress Disorder. Oh.
4:30 Pacific. All right.
Yeah, 4:30.
Good enough.
Wow.
We got somebody.
Freaking Cat must be way behind us.
I was the closest. Fuck you all.
Anyways, catch us again next week. Same time, same place. That is 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
That's right.
This channel, the only one.
PTSD.
No fake accounts.
T with an E. Fuck you all.
Well, I guess we'll just take those as your closing remarks there, Pav. How about you, Buck? You got any closing remarks?
Not really. Don't take Flip. I'll leave you with that.
What the fuck is Flip?
I don't even. I heard Andrew WK say it once. I don't even know what it fucking means.
Okay.
There we go. Famous quotes,
closing,
everybody.
My closing statement is I'm tired. Good night. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night.
Good night.